Well, ladies and gentlemen, I found an interesting story for you guys that came from Engadget, and it says gig worker bill backed by Uber and Lyft passes in Washington State House. And we are talking about Washington State, not like DC. It gives drivers access to benefits while still classifying them as gig workers. When I first seen that, I was going, okay, great, looks amazing. But let's read the story and see what actually has transpired. A new bill that guarantees benefits for ride-hail drivers while still classifying them as gig workers has passed the Washington State House. It is backed by Uber and Lyft, of course, as well as the local Teamsters union, and represents a compromise between all parties involved. Under the legislation, drivers are guaranteed benefits that include paid sick leave, a minimum pay rate, and resource center for drivers who want to appeal their deactivation. This right here is something we have been trying to get for a long time. A resource center for drivers who want to appeal their deactivation. Currently, the only way I know, if you're not part of Washington State, is a site called gigrocket.com. They will help you with all the legalese and so on to try to get yourself reactivated. But all while still being classified as gig workers. Meanwhile, the companies can't set their workers' schedule under the legislation. Awesome. And cities won't have the power to regulate ride-hailing firms. That can be a little scary. If they cannot regulate them, that allows them to go a little free willy or free, I don't know, willy-nilly on how things are done. Aside from that, back to where I was saying, according to labor notes, the bill is getting mixed reception from drivers, with some arguing that the benefits may not be enough. Uber, Lyft, and other gig companies have long fought attempts to force them to classify their workers as employees, even spending hundreds of millions of dollars to ensure that's the case. In California, the companies spent over $200 million to campaign for Proposition 22, a ballot that overturns a local law that made drivers full-time employees. The companies prevailed, and the proposition passed with a decently wide margin. Peter Kuhl, president of the Teamsters-affiliated drivers union, told Bloomberg, thousands of Uber and Lyft drivers, predominantly immigrants and people of color, will benefit from this long overdue expansion of pay raises, benefits, and protections statewide. Labor Notes says, though, that drivers' union supported the bill mainly because the companies threatened to pursue a ballot initiative if they don't get a compromise in Washington. See, that is where these companies really suck. They threatened to pursue a ballot initiative, i.e., Prop 22 from California, if they don't get a compromise in Washington. Don Creary, a drivers union board member, told the publication, "They're also holding the gun at our heads with the possibility of an initiative. They spent $200 million on California. It comes down to the reality that we don't have the money to buy TV ads. They do. They will misinform the public with a barrage of TV ads, so we will lose an initiative. We could lose everything." The legislation is now heading to the state Senate, which will hold a public hearing for it today, February 26th. Well, this publication came out yesterday, and it went to the Senate yesterday, so I'm going to have to look that up and see if it passed and what the benefits are that are being given. But at this point, I mean, from what it sounds like, I think Uber and Lyft and the other gig companies might end up benefiting more than the drivers will, which is gonna suck. And I hate to say it that the that Washington State has had to deal with this. I mean, we fight every day trying to get our rights and get what we deserve. Um, but it is always hard when you come up against a company like Uber, like Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub, and the other gig companies out there that we all do work for or work with. I don't say we work for them, we work with them. We are all independent contractors. Um, they got way too much money. We have nothing. This drivers union actually attempted to do a great thing. Uh, the fact that that Uber and the Lyft and the gig companies would end up uh, bringing up an initiative to bring down any chance the of these benefits. That is what really is horrible for the drivers. I mean, I'm glad that they're getting something now. I'm hoping that they will end up eventually getting the upfront information like the pilot program that has been implemented from Uber, but who knows there. Ooh, excuse me. The biggest thing is a paid sick leave, minimum pay rate. Now, minimum pay rate we've seen with Uber and Lyft in California is that it's a minimum pay rate while you are logged in. So I'm really questioning that. That one has me a little leery. So we'll see what happens there. But until next time, guys, I will be back, and I'm going to get back on the road and try to make my money that I need to make. And hopefully you all have a great day. And if you have not already, please like and subscribe to this video and subscribe to my channel. I do post videos quite often with bad drivers in the Phoenix area, and also notable Uber rides. Some of them are hilarious, some of them are like cringeworthy, I guess. Passengers can be unruly, passengers can be utterly hilarious. So you all have a great day.